You know how you place the limit order, right? You tell your broker, hey, buy this stock for me, but only if it hits my price. It's simple. But what if I told you the market would actually pay you to do that? Pay you just for waiting? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. It's a strategy called the cash secured put, but we're going to look at it as something you already get, a paid limit order. Let's get into it.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll really lock in that paid limit order idea. Then we'll dive into how the actual promise works, the mechanics. After that, we'll run the numbers, walk through a super clear story with a $50 stock, and wrap up with a checklist, the rules of the road, so you know exactly how to think about this. So, first up, the paid limit order. Seriously, if you get this one idea, the whole strategy just clicks. Forget all the complicated options speak for a minute and just focus on this one simple concept. Look at this side by side. On the left, a normal limit order. You set it and forget it. But on the right, this is a total game changer. You're still saying, buy if it hits my price, but now there's that amazing little addition, and I get paid right now for it. You're literally being paid for your patience.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's a huge mental shift. You're not just a passive buyer anymore. You're more like an underwriter. You're setting your terms, and you're getting compensated for setting those terms. This is the whole feeling behind selling a cash-secured put.
Okay, so the idea is cool, but how does the promise actually work? That brings us to part 2. We got the what, so now it's time to pull back the curtain on the how.
Here it is, in plain English. When you sell a cash-secured put, you're making a promise, a binding promise. You agree to buy 100 shares of a stock at a price you get to choose. That's called the strike price. And for making that promise, you get paid a fee right up front called the premium. Now, the most important part of the name is cash secured. It means you actually have to have the money, the cash, set aside to make good on that promise if you're asked to.
This is the deal you're making, plain and simple. You get the premium, the cash, in your account right now. It's yours to keep no matter what happens. But in exchange for that cash, you're taking on an obligation for the future, the chance you might have to buy that stock. It's a classic trade-off.
And here's how it goes down step by step. First, you choose your price, the price you'd be totally happy to own the stock at. Second, you sell the promise, that's the put contract. 3, you instantly collect your fee, that premium. 4, and this is key, you hold the cash to back it up. And finally, number 5, if the stock drops to your price, you honor your promise and buy the shares. Simple as that.
Okay, let's talk about the math. And don't worry, you don't need a PhD for this. These are just a few simple calculations that let you know every possible outcome before you ever hit the trade button. It's all about knowing your numbers.
This little table is your best friend. Your maximum profit? Easy. It's the premium you got paid up front. That's your best case scenario. Now, the break-even price is super important. It's your strike price minus the premium you took in. That's your real cost for the stock if you end up buying it. And of course, the max loss and the capital required are right there too, so you know exactly what's at stake.
All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. It's time for our $50 stock story. This is where we take all those formulas and see how they actually play out.
So let's pretend there's a stock you really like, and you've decided you'd be absolutely thrilled to buy it if it ever dropped down to $50 a share. That $50, that's our strike price. That's the price where we make our promise.
Now, for making that promise, the market pays you. Let's say it pays you $2 per share. And since one options contract covers 100 shares, that's $200 that lands in your account right away. Think of it as your fee for waiting.
Okay, fast forward. It's the expiration day for our promise. The stock closes at $52, which you'll notice is above our $50 promise price. So, what happens?
In this case, our limit order never got hit. The stock stayed above our price, so our promise to buy isn't needed. The contract just disappears, it expires worthless, and we get to keep the entire $200 premium as pure profit. We could even turn around and do it all over again if we still want the stock.
But, of course, what if it goes the other way? Let's say at expiration, the stock has dropped down to $49 a share. Now we're below our $50 strike price. What happens now?
This is where we have to make good on our promise. We are assigned the shares. That just means we buy 100 shares at the $50 we agreed to, which costs us $5,000. We do this even though the stock is trading $1 cheaper on the open market. But hang on, remember that $200 we got paid? This is where the magic happens. We paid $50 a share, yes, but we got that $2 per share premium up front. It's like an instant rebate. So our real cost, our break-even point, is actually $48. So even with the stock at $49, we're technically still $1 ahead on our cost basis. That premium gives you a fantastic cushion.
Okay, this brings us to what might be the most important part of this whole thing, the underwriter's checklist. Knowing the math is great, but using it with discipline, well, that's everything. This is about thinking like a professional.
Think of this as your 5 golden rules. Number 1 and 2 are non-negotiable. Only do this on stocks you actually want to own at prices you would be genuinely happy to pay. Why? Because you might have to. Also, be really careful around big events like earnings reports that can make a stock jump or fall hard overnight. Always, always know your break-even, and have a plan for what you're going to do if you do get the shares.
And that leads us right to our final takeaway. Let's boil everything we've just talked about down to its absolute core. If you walk away with just one thought today, let it be this. This isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme chasing premiums. It's about getting paid to be a disciplined buyer. You set your price, you set your terms, and you let the market compensate you for your patience.
Now, I have to be super clear on this last point. As cool as this is, that premium is not free money. It's compensation. You're being paid for taking on a real risk and a very specific obligation. You have to treat it like a business and only write the promises you are 100% prepared to honor.
And there you have it, the cash-secured put, reimagined as the paid limit order. If you want to see more examples or check out some worksheets, please do visit our site. And as always, remember, this is all for educational purposes. It's definitely not financial advice. Thanks for tuning in.